Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Feature Fridays. My name is Garrett Trott, and I'm part of the support team here at Uplifter. And joining me, as always, is the one and only Jackie Kwan. How you doing today, Jackie?
I'm doing well. I wish you would call yourself the product expert and
The
not just,
product expert.
yeah, like really emphasize the,
Yeah,
the,
I am
the,
the product
the. You
expert.
are the product expert because
I will
that's what you
next time.
are.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
put that as a side note. Today we've got a great Feature Friday for you fine folks. So we are taking a look at a brand new feature, some new tools that are coming out. They are not yet available on live as of the recording of this video, but they will be available very shortly. And so we wanted to give you a primer on all of these amazing little tidbits that you can utilize to your advantage, especially with the wild world that we live in these days. These are definitely going to come into your advantage there and become very, very handy. So without further ado, Jackie, I will allow you to take it away.
You know what's really funny is I was going to tell you, don't tell them what it's called. And you didn't tell them what it's called
I never
because
tell them
that's
what
a
it's called
surprise.
because the video has a name and it says it in the name.
Oh,
So
oh,
they already
so
know
we've
what it is.
ruined it.
We ruined it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
fine. Okay, so this is a surprise. Yes, we are going to take a sneak peek at some of the changes that we are going to be adding to Uplifter very shortly. You're probably going to see these new changes in the next week or so. But we often like to do a sneak peek of some of these new features because there are a few changes to the interface, so we want to get you guys acclimatized to it. We also want to sort of show you what's coming down the pipe so that you can sort of plan accordingly if this is a feature that you'd like to sort of take advantage of. So this feature, we are, as you know from seeing the title card, is called auto-renewing fees. So for any of you who are using Uplifter and are already using our recurring subscriptions feature, this is really just an extension of that. And I guess you don't need to see my console because that I usually leave open while I'm doing development work. Hopefully that's not on all my screens, but that's okay. So, so one of the things that we've done is we've actually extended our recurring subscriptions feature so that it's much more robust and can be utilized in a number of different ways. And in so doing it, in doing that, we've actually had to update a few of the screens so that we can make this feature as easy for our users to take advantage of. So one of the things that you're going to notice is when you're creating a new product or editing a new product, you'll notice that our top elements have changed just slightly. And we've done this to actually make it sort of be more in line with how the program editing pages look. So you may notice a few of the fields have changed around and moved slightly. Please be assured that all of the features here on the product page, product edit page, they haven't really changed. So all of these fields are the same fields that you've seen before, should be fairly familiar to you. But the one thing that we have changed is just sort of reorganize the layout of the section that you're actually going to be updating your fees and your payments. A lot of the fields are still the same. We've just sort of moved them slightly. So if you're creating a product or a subscription, you'll add your total fee here. But you'll notice that the payment installment option that used to be a checkbox element down here below is now a separate tab. So again, all of the features of that payment installment option are still the same. They're still there. Nothing changes there. You just have to click on the tab in order to get to it. But the one thing that we've actually changed as well is we've moved the recurring fee options into another tab. And a lot of this was done to sort of consolidate the space of this element and make it clear what the different options are available to you as an administrator in creating products and subscriptions. So if you're looking for the recurring subscriptions feature, it is now, we've renamed it to auto renew or auto renewal fee. So if you're looking for that, just click on the Auto Renew tab. Now, for any of those administrators that are not familiar with this feature, what you can do with Uplifter is you can create a membership that just automatically renews. So maybe it's a monthly membership for your gym or a monthly membership for being a part of your club or organization. It's $30 that automatically gets charged on the first of every month, and it's separate from your specific program fees because it's a membership that continues on and on and on. And then we just automatically charge the credit card that may be on file for the original registration for this subscription. What we've done here now is we've made this auto renewal fee available. You can actually set up a regular product to use this auto renew function. And we added a few other options to it as well. Now, one of the limitations with the auto renew subscription that we've had previously is that it really can only be applied to a subscription. And as well, it was a subscription that just sort of goes on and on and on, and you would have to go to the original invoice in order to edit it and stop it and prevent it from charging in future. So we've added a number of features to extend this, but more importantly, and I'm going to jump into this, on the next screen here, is we've actually added this feature to our programs. And this now gives us an incredibly robust way of actually creating programs and pricing programs for your members. So I'm here on products and programs. I've actually created a bunch here for my testing, but let's click on Add New here so that you can see how this new feature works. So first of all, what you may notice as well on the program edit screen is it used to be that we had this whole section on the bottom for advanced settings. We've now changed that to a little toggle switch back on the top. So if you're looking for a few fields that you don't see, instead of seeing, scrolling down to the bottom and clicking on the advanced settings, you'll now find that right at the top of the page. If you're editing a program, you will be automatically put into the advanced settings options right away. So just note that that's switched there if you're looking for things. As well, we've just updated a few of the fields, again, just similarly to the product edit screen, to make sure that everything sort of matches up so that things that you would normally see on the product screen would be in the same place that you would see on the program edit screen. So that's pretty straightforward. And what we've done here now is we've actually added this section on the bottom for fees and payment on the program. And we've done the same sort of view where we've consolidated your different options into 3 different tabs. But what we've done is we've added this auto renew tab over to our program edit page as well. So how does this work? So if you have been using Uplifter for quite some time and you're used to actually setting up your programs that you're setting up for registration as a flat fee. So let's create this program here, and let's say we're going to start this on the 14th of November, and we're going to let this run until maybe the 13th of February, and we're going to add a couple of events. Let's do this on a Friday, because today is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. So as we create...
Answer back, Jackie. What's going on?
Because no one loves me. I was expecting you to answer back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I failed miserably. I'm so sorry. I'm fine. So here we are. We've created this program, and I've created a number of events that happen on Fridays. You'll notice here, as always, if you've actually set up your season so that you've got some exception days, it automatically skips over the holidays that you have in your schedule, and creates your events accordingly. So when we get down to our program fee, you'll notice, though, that here I've got 11 events. Typically, what you'd have to do is, okay, if you're trying to figure out how much it is that you want to charge for the program, a lot of organizations that we've worked with already have this worked out separately, so it's been sort of a no-brainer. But we've had a number of organizations that said, you know what, I'd really like to be able to say, I have this class that runs, and I want to set each of those classes to actually only be $25 each. And I don't want to have to do that math, because I've got, different days and different weeks and, different days of the weeks for different months, and it's going to be different each time. So instead of me doing that math, I want to be able to actually set my pricing to be automatically calculated per event. So so this new function that we've added is allowing you to actually change the pricing structure and determine the price of your program based on how much you want each class to cost. One of the additional things that we've also done, though, with Uplifter here with this calculated per event feature is that you might have situations where that one class cost is going to be a little bit different, because you actually, in this one class, you actually offer multiple elements. So for example, let's say I were to set this up so that this is actually a class that runs 2 days per week, and on Thursdays it's only a half hour. But on Fridays it's an hour, and you want to charge $25 for the Friday classes but only $15 for the Thursday class. So you can very easily, we've given you this option to override that price. So now you can see I've automatically created this event
structure that charges $25 for the Friday class, $15 for the Thursday class, and automatically calculates that my whole program fee is going to be $440. So this allows a lot of the administrators to set up their pricing much more easily if you think more in the terms of per event as opposed to the entirety of the costs of the program. And each organization does things a little bit differently, and what we've done is we've just added that option, so it's easy for you regardless of which way you organize your pricing. So as always, we still have the prorating option that's available to you, and when you actually set up prorating, you'll also notice that the prorating will actually honor these per event prices. So if you've got a Friday class, it's going to deduct it by $25 once that class elapses, and then on the next time it's going to sorry, this one was $15 because it's a Thursday class, and then $25 for the Friday classes. So that will automatically prorate based on the event pricing that you've identified when you're using calculated per event for your pricing. As always, we still have the payment installment option. We try and keep all of the features that we have in the system intact so that you can still continue to use those features, and we just sort of extend what we've built on top of it. So you can still set up payment installment options like you have previously. All of those options are still the same. One of the things that we also have done is if you are using flat fee where Uplifter does all those calculations for you in the background, I can't remember how much that was, I think it was $440. If you use automatic prorating, we used to automatically round everything to 50 cents so that we didn't have oddball numbers sitting there for you. You can now actually optionally select that rounding. So if you've decided that you want Uplifter to just not do that rounding, you want to just show the price that's there specifically, then you can certainly just check deselect that, so that is now going to be an option that you can optionally opt into. So this was 25, wasn't it? Yeah, there we are. Okay, so so those are a couple of new options. But now we've also added this option for auto renew. So you might be asking, well, what's sort of the difference between just setting up payment installments and auto renew? So
Hey,
yeah.
what's the difference between setting up payment installments and auto renew?
Have you been listening? I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
I'm sorry, I thought you said I might be asking that.
Why do you have to rush me? So payment installments. So with anybody who's using the full program fee and setting up payment installments, this is very often for, I know a lot of skating clubs do this because they typically deal with like an ice contract where you've been contractually obligated to actually have this ice for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. And so what you're doing is you're actually selling out that entire ice cost for those 12 weeks, and you want people to pay that in installments. So very often we have a lot of organizations that's dealing with this type of accrual method of accounting, which is how you were able to do the pricing in Uplifter and manage the accounting when you're exporting that. So when somebody decides to pay in installments, you'd be recognizing all of the revenue as soon as they've registered, and then everything that they pay in installments would be considered what's called a receivable. So this allowed you to manage accrual accounting practices. But what we found is, especially with COVID and a lot of the different other clubs that we've had come on board, you're wanting to use very likely a cash, or if you're a club that's wanting to use more of a cash-based accounting method, you might want to consider our auto renew fee, where instead of creating a single invoice or a single registration fee of $440, breaking it up across 3 or 4 different installments, and then slowly picking that installment fee away from the from your receivables and recognizing that as an asset over time, what you can do is basically only charge as the program sort of progresses. So in this case, what we've done with an auto renew fee is, and in this case, I've done it where I've calculated it per event. So I've got a whole bunch of events here that are going to occur throughout my program that may be $15 or $25 based on the settings that I've created here. And I just want them, I want my users to be able to just get an invoice on the first of the month. Every month that basically pays for the classes that they've signed up for. So what I'll do is I'll just put in my renewal billing period of first day of next month, and this auto renew fee will just automatically stop once I've actually completed the program. And not only that, each fee will be calculated based on exactly the number of events that have occurred in that time frame. So depending on when they register, and especially if you've actually set it to also include prorating, it would say, okay, if they're registering on the 20th, we've got basically the 20th and the 26th and the 27th. Those 3 classes are going to be $55. So for November, it's going to charge them $55. And then on December 1st, which is the first day of next month, the system will automatically generate a new invoice for all of the classes in December. And again, would also take into account any of the classes that are skipped. So for example, in December, we're taking that break for Christmas, so it's going to skip over those 2 classes and only charge them for the first 6 classes in December on that December 1st invoice. And not only that, it's only going to generate an invoice and a process of payment as those fees occur. So this works much better if you are doing cash-based accounting, where you want each payment to be equated exactly with the revenues that are attached to elements. Now, the other thing that's really great about this is with COVID and with all the changes that are happening in this day and age, I know a lot of clubs have to be very agile. So even though you're typically very often setting up a program for registration, I can see how clubs may want to actually move over to this method on their next registration period. Because what this will allow you to do is set up a class, set up auto-renewing, and if for some reason you have to do a bit of a pause or a hold, you can sort of stop the payments and not actually charge your members, you know, if you've had a bit of a lockdown that may have occurred in your location or in your area, so that you're not accidentally accruing payments and having to process a whole bunch of refunds. So this provides a significant amount of flexibility in terms of managing that. Now, as with Uplifter, we've tried to make this feature as robust as possible. So even if you're doing an auto-renew fee, let's say you don't want it to be calculated per event, and you really just want to do a flat fee, and you want to say, I just want to charge everybody $100 a month, period, end of story. Don't care if there's 5 classes, 6 classes, you know, based on the number of Fridays in a month or Thursdays in a month. You can certainly do a flat fee, monthly auto-renewing fee. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Additionally, if you don't want your billing to be tied specifically to the first day of the month or the last day of this month, what you can also do is you can do something like this, where you want actually the fees to actually be billed once a month at the base relative to the date that they register. Or perhaps you just want to do this for every 2 weeks, so that it sort of, and again, that this is very great for a lot of those clubs that are sort of in those areas that, you know, registration might be opening, might be closing, you know, you might have to put the program on pause for a week or 2, you know, and if you're only billing every 2 weeks, it gives you a bit of flexibility as an administrator to manage those processing of those fees and minimize the number of refunds that you might have to do. Additionally, what we've also added is the ability for you to add options in terms of how much people are registering for. So you can definitely use the program end date, but let's say you have sort of a longer program that's going to span sort of the entirety of the year, and you want people to just sort of drop in and drop out for various, you know, various options. So what you can do is you can say, you know what, I would like them to be able to sign up for 2 months, 3 months, and so on. You can pick what those options are, and what will happen is Uplifter will present to them the program registration and then present to them a drop-down that allows them to select, do I want to sign up for just 2 months or just 3 months? And Uplifter will automatically register them immediately, and then after 2 billing periods have completed, if they've selected 2, it'll stop the billing, open up that spot in your program so that people can re-register for those new times and dates. Did you want to say something, Garrett?
Well, I had kind of a question. The renewal billing period is set to 2 weeks, so would those billing period count options technically be 2 weeks?
Thank you. 2 weeks. Actually, it would be 2 2-week periods. You probably wouldn't do this for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, if we change the renewal billing period to a month, that would make a lot more sense.
Exactly. So in this case, you'd probably do something. And you can certainly do this for last day of this month. And you could have 2 months, 3 months. Thanks for catching that, Garrett. So trying to show all of the different options. Sometimes I know
Yeah.
it is. So I know that this is a lot to absorb, and we just want to sort of give you a little bit of a preview of the things that are coming down the pipe. As always, if you have questions, you can certainly ask us at support@uplifterinc.com as you start beginning to use this feature. Now, one of the things that I will mention is if you have registration or if you're running programs right now, we do suggest trying out this new option on a new set of registrations. So I don't suggest sort of, switching halfway through. It may cause a few issues. So we're letting people know about this so that they can plan their next registration period to utilize some of these options. And certainly we do suggest that you test where you can. Now, on top of it, the other thing that we've also added to provide administrators with a bit more flexibility is how it is that members will see these auto-renewing fees in their account, and as well how administrators can actually work with them. So now in the member account, if you actually have any renewing fees, you'll see a new tab here called Auto Renewing Fees, and it will show you any of the fees that you've actually signed up for and what you've paid previously and what the next expected fee will be. Now keep in mind that these fees will, when they actually auto renew, if you've got discounts or subscriptions attached to them, those will also process at the time of the renewal, so keep that in mind when you're actually setting up those elements. And again, you can contact us at support to help you decide how it is that you want to work with those. Other things that you can also do is on this auto renewing fees tab, you can now set it up so that, let's say somebody has come and they've said, you know what, we're moving out of the province and we're no longer going to be here after the end of the November. So we'd like to actually stop our fees as of December 1st. So as an administrator, you can now set sort of a future withdrawal date where those fees will stop occurring and they'll automatically be withdrawn from the program, and change that. Other things that you can also do is, let's say a member comes to you and they say, you know what, we'd rather be paid, or we'd rather charge on the 15th of the month, or little Susie has sprained her ankle and we need to put our membership on hold, and here's my medical note that tells me, that excuses me. You can certainly put auto renewing fees on hold and say when that hold is going to be removed. So when you do that, sorry, I jumped back and forth. I apologize. So, and this was in my anticipation of trying to describe how to actually change the billing date. If you actually want to change a billing date, what you can do is you can put a fee on hold, and you can say, let's say that member says, I would like my fees to come out on the 15th and not on the 1st. What you can do is you can put your fee on hold. We'll just change that back to never. And you can now change the billing date to +1 month. And what that will do is it will put the fee on hold. It won't charge them on December 1st like it normally would. And instead, what it will do is on the 15th, the hold will remove, and then it will, at that point in time, auto-renew to +1 month, which would then be January 15th. So this allows you, again, more flexibility to allow you to edit the billing date if members do ask for that option. So,
Hey, Jackie.
yes.
In that scenario, would they actually be billed on the 16th because it removes on the 15th, or it removes and bills on the same day?
That is a good question, and I would have to go look at the code to remember.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, thanks for putting me on the spot.
Absolutely, that's what I do.
Yeah, you're probably right. It would be the 14th. Actually, no, I think it is the 15th. I think it is the 15th, but we'll finalize that and we'll get all of those different elements in the documentation. And I know that's why you're asking, because you're writing the documentation, aren't you? So.
Yes, I am.
We will we'll sort out those specifics so that we can make sure that we provide the proper guidance to the support team, or the support team can provide the proper guidance to our administrators so that they know how to actually update those elements if required. So the other option that you'll also see on this recurring fees tab is, or auto renewing fees tab, is if this is a program and you actually delete the auto renewing fee, this will automatically also withdraw that participant from that program immediately. So it's really simple to withdraw people and add people to programs using the auto renew fee option. So this does open up a whole bunch of flexibility to administrators to make things quite a bit simpler for them to administer their members and the classes that they're attending. So I've gone a little bit over time because I get excited about new features, and I'm really sorry. I always
There's a
do
ton
that.
of stuff. No,
I
that's
know
amazing. There's so much
yeah,
stuff.
I know, and it's so hard. I was trying to get through everything, and I apologize that I may have jumped out back and forth a little bit. But when we actually do release this feature, we'll probably do a bit more of a robust video that walks you through all the different elements, and maybe do a couple of different videos to give you a little bit more detail. But we did want to show you what's coming down the pipe. Like I said, this will be available in the next week or so, certainly before the end of the month. So plan accordingly. Get ready to take advantage of this brand new feature with Uplifter. So
Absolutely.
so that's all I have to say right now. So
Well, you've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much for that. And of course, if you or those happen to like this feature, or can use this feature to your advantage, we do of course have the Refer and Save, where you can save $10 off of your monthly fees for 6 months, and so can they when you refer them and they go live. So that is a great way to not only save money but spread the love and share all the new features and functions and make people's lives easier. Beyond that, I think, Jackie, you were about to say, this will actually be our last Feature Fridays until January. We are taking a bit of a hiatus. So any of you who watch it live, first off, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate you showing up and showing the love. We will actually be away until next January.
yes, we will definitely put up notes on our Facebook page and to let you know when it is that our Feature Fridays will resume, and show you different features that we have added into Uplifter at that point in time. So thank you so much for joining us this year. It's been a great year, and we do certainly hope that everybody is staying safe and doing well during COVID, and we certainly hope that everybody stays safe during this holiday season. So thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to our U.S. friends, and we will see everybody in the new year. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.